had to write this down because there's no way I can remember this one by heart. But I actually camped next to this group. I put up my tent before I realized last year when I saw this big sign that said Punta Gorda Army. I had no idea what I was camping next to. So I got no sleep last year, but that's okay. Last year I was camped next to this loose-knit group they call themselves the Guitar Army and Neo Beatnik Revolutionary Ensemble. Did I do that well? All right. Well, let me introduce you to some of the members of this army here. Characters, as they call themselves, who they say believe that in music and family and tradition they can help make a better world. So we're going to find out how, I guess, with their lyrics. And of course, leading this army is Mr. Steve Blackwell. See, they're here. They're here. The army is here. The contingency. They brought their fan club yet again. And he's on guitar, vocals, and harmonica. And then we have a father-son duel with Dan Leach, Punta Gorda, guitar, mandolin, and vocals. Raise your hand, Mr. Dan Leach. And then we have, I guess, your son, Andy Leach, right? Who's going to be on bass. And then we have, last but not least, Mr. Gary G. Helinsky. Did I say it right? Helinsky. Ski and Hell. See, I was trying to remember that. From Fort Ogden,
right.
which is east-west or one of those places from Punta
Should be
Gorda.
the capital of Florida, I think.
Capital of Florida, really? I've never been to Punta Gorda, but I'm kind of afraid to now.
Punta Gorda. You gotta.
I want one of those hats. That's what I want. That's part of the Army, I guess.
That'll be all right.
All in uniform.
Punta Gorda, you kind of pronounce it like you're kicking a female squash. Yeah.
Not
Punta
a male
Gorda.
All right. So we got the Army up here.
They're nice water holders.
I want to take just a moment to mention that following Steve Blackwell, we have a special tribute put together to honor Gene and Bill Hewitt, who are long-term supporters of FOF and folk music, and so I hope you'll stick around for that. There's some great music coming up to honor Gene and Bill Hewitt at 11:30 for dedication and tireless service. All right, let's wake up, put our hands together for Mr. Steve Blackwell and this Punta Gorda Army.
That quarter sounded lonely when I dropped it in your cup. And you're looking kind of scraggly, I didn't want to bring it up. But your music's sweet as ever, you're still clever with a rhyme. Yeah, we'll have to get together, I know we say that every time. Well, he's played in all those beer joints along Tamiami Trail. Called me more than once or twice to bail him out of jail. He's played all over Florida, in Key West he'd make the scene. Or else he'd play St. George Street in old St. Augustine, singing precious memories meant to last, treasures that can't be bought with gold. This flowered land has spells to cast, Florida's story must be told, it must be told. His heart had burned like fire, though his eyes were cold as stone. No matter how big the crowd is, you know he always seems alone. From Lettuce Lake to Cabbage Key, he sing and play his part. piece of polished driftwood. Time has turned his life to art. Singing precious memories meant to last. Treasures that can't be bought with gold. This flowered land has spells to cast. Florida story must be told. It must be told. Songs by Will and Gamble, songs by Bobby, Frank, and Ann. Songs by Grooms and Kreider, all about this native land. A love so great unfolding for this land so dear and vast. How can we face our future if we do not know our past? Singing precious memories meant to last. Treasures that can't be bought with gold. This flowered land has spells to cast. Florida's story must be told. It must be told. Singing precious memories meant to last. Treasures that can't be bought with gold. This flowered land has spells to cast. Florida's story must be, Florida's story must be told. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. What an honor it is to be on this stage, and what wonderful performances have been up here today. Especially proud to have Jeannie Fitchin up here right before us. What a great talent she is. How about that, huh? What you talk about treasures, Florida treasures. We'd like to do one now that Gary and I wrote.
We sort of researched this one here. We happened to be walking around an Arcadia store, antique store, and saw an old picture of a rattlesnake store. They sold rattlesnake rattles and rattlesnake meat and rattlesnake venom, and so we started researching this and found out that the guy who caught most of the rattlesnakes was a guy by the name of Guy Johnson. Guy Johnson was actually the son of Acrefoot Johnson, and we all know who he is. So Steve and I put this one together.
It was in the 1880s in old Fort Ogden town. There lived a giant mailman who was famous all around. Folks all called him Acrefoot, his shoe a size 14. Walking 50 miles, hauling mail twice weekly, his routine. He and Margaret had 8 children, one was good to catch a snake. He'd sell them off for money, all for the family's sake. His name it was Guy Johnson, but once he was fully grown, his skill at catching rattlers had him forever known as Rattlesnake Johnson. He charmed the largest snake, Rattlesnake Johnson, all for the family's sake. He'd sell the meat, he'd sell the skins, he'd sell the venom too. When it came to rattlers, he knew what to do. Then in the 1930s, George and he chanced to meet. They were skinning rattlers, and the meat looked good to eat. It was as white as turtle as it fried up in the pan. They decided to be partners and put snake meat in a can. So Guy and his new northern friend, in a way most mannerly, they opened up themselves a rattler cannery, a cannery and museum, snake oil and charms to sell, with skulls and skins and rattles, all from the Slither Well. And once the Baptists called on him when they were in a lurch, it seemed there was a rattler underneath the church. Guy slithered in the crawl space and he went in all alone. Came out with the rattler, 'cause he was ever known as Rattlesnake Johnson. He charmed the largest snake, Rattlesnake Johnson, all for the family's sake. He'd sell the meat, he'd sell the skins, he'd sell the venom too. When it came to rattlers, he knew what to do. Thank you.
We had friends of ours in Arcadia who wanted to do something for the county fair, so they wanted to show how you prepare swamp cabbage. They asked me to come out and videotape them as they went out and got themselves the swamp cabbage. And so, of course, I brought Steve and Dan along, and of course, they had to bring their guitars and mandolins, and Steve had to write a song about it, because how else could he do it? So he went along and did this.
I'm told that it goes real good with alligator or rattlesnake, too. You know? Or bald eagle. Or bald eagle, a manatee.
Yeah, Wampus was there.
Swamp cabbage, driving Florida back roads out in the breeze and bomb, always in search of that perfect cabbage palm. And when I find it, my God, what a sight! I know that I'll be eating some swamp cabbage tonight. Swamp cabbage, oh how I love the taste. Swamp cabbage, not a mouthful will I waste. I get so damned excited, it's so hard to be calm when I eat those tasty morsels made from the hearts of palm. So always keep a sharp axe to cut your cabbage palm. You can learn to fix it no matter where you're from. Recipes all over, some easy and some hard. Just don't cut a swamp cabbage if it's in your neighbor's yard. Swamp cabbage, oh how I love the taste. Swamp cabbage, not a mouthful will I waste. I get so damned excited, it's so hard to be calm when I eat those tasty morsels made from the hearts of palm. that good swamp cabbage, I eat it in a bowl. Oh, that good swamp cabbage, it sure does take its toll. It'll get your motor started with the sound of a broom. Once you get all cranked up, you can surely clear a room. Swamp cabbage, oh how I love the taste. Swamp cabbage, not a mouthful will I waste. I get so damned excited, it's so hard to be calm when I eat those tasty morsels made from the hearts of palm. One more time. Swamp cabbage, oh how I love the taste. Swamp cabbage, not a mouthful will I waste. I get so damned excited, it's so hard to be calm when I eat those tasty morsels made from the hearts of palm. When I eat those tasty morsels made from the hearts of palm. Swamp cabbage!
I think there's just something that happens to your system. I don't know if it's how much swamp cabbage you have to eat, but it's either that or the mullet. I'm not sure. But somehow there's been some kind of a transformation with me. We'd like to do one now. That so many wonderful things happen in Florida, but sometimes some not so wonderful things. And this is something that happened a couple of years ago around Christmas time. Up the road from Fort Ogden in Nocatee. This is called The Store Is Closed.
Who would have thought in old Nocatee, down at the market where good friends would meet, husband and wife running their store, working together so less could be more. They never had trouble, but just in case, the old Smith & Wesson was kept in its place. The robbers came in, to locals I hear, needing dope money, too green to know fear. The store is closed, death in the family. The store is closed, maybe for good. The store is closed, muerte en la familia. El mercado está cerrado. Would have gone fine till they threatened her life. Mother of his children, his darling, his wife. They pointed a pistol right at her head. he had to draw, and now he is dead. There's blood on the floor where the groceries were stacked. Blood on the money intended for crack. Who would have thought in this Florida farm town? Death at the market, look at what's going down. The store is closed, death in the family. The store is closed, maybe for good. The store is closed, muerte en la familia. El mercado está cerrado. The store is closed, death in the family. The store is closed, maybe for good. The store is closed, muerte en la familia. El mercado está cerrado. El mercado está cerrado.
Thank you. We've got one more song, and we're going to get on with the rest of the evening. I want to sure thank Margaret, Mim, and Margaret's sisters, and it's just a wonderful thing. You know, it's so much work, thanks to the sound people, just all the volunteers and people who make this happen. It is such a wonderful thing how all this energy and the creativity just seems to expand and expand. I'm very proud to be a part of it, and I know you all should be too. It's a wonderful thing we're doing here. Exchange harps.
This one Steve put together a long time ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. And we did this earlier. Yeah, this song is like 2 weeks old, and I commented. I said either we're just fearless or just stupid. This is one called Backyard Revolution #1, and I realize I'm kind of preaching to the choir here, but anyway, I want to do it. So, Backyard Revolution #1. Just look at all the people out of touch and burning time, getting answers from their TV sets or computers. What a crime. Need to get out in our own backyards. Need to listen, need to feel. Need to hear what's in our own hearts. Find for ourselves just what is real. Mix the words and the music, ancient elements of truth, in a circle round a flame. Mix the words and the music, though we're old or in our youth. These are gifts that we must claim.
words and the music, ancient elements of truth, in a circle round a flame. Mix the words and the music, though we're old or in our youth, these are gifts that we must claim. A real revolution. Learn the names of plants and birds. Learn the history of our own places. Make up tunes, make up words. We can mix the words and music. Oh, what magical pursuits. There's power in the sharing, getting linked up with our roots. Mix the words and the music, ancient elements of truth, in a circle round a flame. Mix the words and the music, though we're old or in our youth, these are gifts that we must claim. Mix the words and the music, ancient elements of truth, in a circle round a flame. Mix the words and the music, though we're older in our youth, these are gifts that we must claim. Thank you very much. Thank you. We sure appreciate it.